Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to show you how to make a nice clean and simple website that everyone is going to like. Now I've already started creating one, and at the moment it's nothing really to look at, and all the writing on it does not mean a thing. So there's probably a lot of typos in this bit of text that you can see here, but I'm just trying to get kind of like the layouts going, and so I know where I'm going to have what. Um, but anyway, I'll just quickly show you what it looks like from a browser. That's what it looks like in a browser. That's probably why you was thinking, why is it so distorted in this view? That's because I've got it at 125%, because I'm someone that likes to be able to view all the details of my actual HTML before I actually see it. But that's what it looks like anyway at the moment. Now, as you can see, there's like a black line on the screen. That's not permanent. I'm just keeping that there so I don't go over my 960 pixels. So anyway, the best thing about a website is to make it really clean and simple. Also, a lot of people like pictures as well. I'm not saying to, completely bombard it with pictures and have loads of pictures, but have enough pictures so it doesn't look too boring, and you'll try something that someone knows what you're talking about, because the worst thing is a whole page full of text and no images. A lot of people wouldn't even bother reading the whole of the text. They'd just skip through it and probably miss the most important parts. So that's where you can introduce your pictures, by putting pictures of the most important things, or just something so the actual reader knows what you're talking about. So anyway, like I say, this is what I've made so far. I've made the top part, which is basically going to be like the main story, and it's going to, tell the reader or the person that views this website what is happening at this precise moment, the top story of today. And then underneath that, I'm going to have a nice white kind of blank page with a bit more of a darkened text, because obviously you won't see white text on a white background. And then I'm going to basically have some more pictures as well, and it's going to be kind of like other news that's already happened but is still available obviously to read, and is still kind of like a hot topic, but obviously not the top news at the moment. So the best thing to do really, like I say, is to make a nice clean layout. So let's just say I'm going to add some text. Now this isn't really going to be professional what I'm going to do here, so don't start going, oh, that's a load of rubbish and stuff like that. But let's just say we're going to advertise, let's just say Facebook sells half of its shares to Yahoo. This is so random, but it doesn't really matter. I don't even know if that's how you spell Yahoo, but I think it's something like that. And then let's just change this, because at the moment I'm using a font that I quite like, which is called Courier New, and I like that font on a web page. And I'm going to set that to bold because it's going to be a title. And let's just make this a little bit more smaller now. I'm just trying to think whether to actually have like a photo underneath or next to it. What would probably be better? No, we'll keep that as an actual title, like I said. And then we're going to bring this down. No, we're not. We're going to keep that there. That's the title. And then we're going to add another text box, text area, whatever you want to call it. And this time it's not going to be in capitals, so it's going to be Facebook has decided to sell half of its shares to Yahoo. This is a big step forward for Yahoo. And you know, this is a story I'm making up, so I don't even know what I'm gonna put. So I'm just gonna keep putting random things like, and now is the waiting game. So that doesn't make hardly any sense whatsoever, but that doesn't really matter for now because this isn't a real story. And let's just line that up a little bit more. Now what I'm going to do, because I want this text to be a little bit more stuff into it, so I'm going to just copy that and I'm going to paste it again so it looks like there's more there. And then what I'm going to do is make this a little bit more bigger. And I'm going to make this a little bit more smaller. Right, so now we've got a bit of text there. Like I say, adding more images would be a bit more better for this kind of scenario, because like I say, it's much easier to read if you've got a bit more stuff going on, like images and things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over to here for now. So that there. I'm just trying to get this directly in the middle for now. I know this doesn't really matter for the video, but and I'm going to move that along like that. Just trying to add as much title as possible here. And then here, let's just say I could have an image. Now I don't actually have any images of Facebook or Yahoo, so I'm going to really just use a random photo, which is going to be a roulette wheel, so random. And now I need to make this much smaller. See, when you add an image, it makes it easier for you to try and line up where you want certain titles and text. See, now I can actually add this a little bit more easier and make it the correct size, which makes it easier. And then I'm just gonna copy this again and make it bigger. Add more of it. So anyway, that's just a rough example. That could be another story on your page. So if we just quickly view that in the browser, it might come out rubbish, but yeah, see, I need to improve a little bit more on the actual title. It's not you know, engaging enough. But let's just say that was another story. Then what you could do to kind of separate you could have like another the same thing again on the other side. So I'll just copy that, and I'm just going to put that over on this side. And then say that's just 2 stories, so in total we've got 3 stories here on the front page. Say we want to just have those 3 stories as the main kind of highlights, and then we want to kind of block all these stories off from whatever we're going to have underneath. So now I'm going to make like a little customized separator here, which is going to go from that lining that I've created myself to there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a fill, and I'm going to use a gradient, and I'm going to change it so that I have it probably the same colour as what my little round thing is here. So I'm going to just went on the wrong thing there. Let's go back to gradient. Right, I'm going to change that to this grey kind of scheme that I've got going here, and I'm going to have the bottom part a white probably. Yep, so that's white, and then I'm going to change that to vertical. And now what I need to do is I need to take the stroke off this, because that's why it's got like a black lining around it. And then I'll make this a little bit more smaller, because obviously you don't want it to be too big. And then just put that up a little bit more. And the height on that's 4, so I'm going to take it down to 3. Okay, maybe it can go down to 2. Oh, no, 2's way too small. That will do. And then if I go and view this back in the browser, there we go. So as you can see now, we've actually separated all the free stories from whatever's going to be going underneath. Now, like I say, them stories at the moment, they need a lot of working on because the sizes of the titles aren't big enough, and also the actual aligning of the text and pictures aren't good either. But this does show you how you can actually um, use this little technique to actually make it look quite clean. Now if I just actually take off that black lining just for a second, and then view that in the browser, see what I mean? It's got rid of that now and it looks a little bit more cleaner as well. So you got enough, you got images there with text. There's not too much text. You could narrow down the amount of text that I've got there, and you've also got a nice little image as well which shows the user um, what's going on as well. And then as you can see here, I've got like a little green button that says read full story. Now you could put them underneath each one of those as well, so that would help. And that's really it. I mean, under this then you'd probably have just some more text as well, not any stories. If you didn't want to, you might have more stories, but you could probably have a little bit more about the website or something like that, or maybe even videos. um, but that's the way forward, guys. Is keep it clean and simple, and that's what people like. They don't want to go to a website where there's thousands of text and no images, because it's like reading the book. It's boring. This is 2011 now. People want to be able to look at things, share things. Just don't make people's life hard, and they're like your website. So that's been my tutorial on how to make a good website using Adobe Muse, which is at the moment in beta. You can get it from their website. I will also put the link in the description for you. It's free to download and it's really good. So if you've not seen what Adobe Muse is about, then why don't you just check my channel out, because I've made a video about it. And I will see you in my next video, guys. So thank you for watching, and see you later.